such a slow and painful death that this hero ensues. It's not a lot of sort of the wham bam, and that is, I tell you, that is what the PA is going to give us, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ourselves into game one of Liquid versus Fnatic. I think a lot of people turned up today hoping for something exciting, and with these picks, I think you can guarantee a lot of excitement this game.
And an early first blood, possibly.
Oh, Miracle in trouble. He's got nothing to jump to. They're going to give him the rundown with this rocket barrage. Miracle has got the tower, and it looks like Fnatic, they don't want to dive in.
If they had actually stayed a little bit more grouped up, maybe had the Sand King leading with them, then they easily get that kill. Unfortunately, they were a bit split with their 5-man smoke. Didn't really stay that tight-knit ball that you usually like to see with your smokes to guarantee those first bloods.
Could that be one of those arguments for the level 1 homing missile? Would that have changed the situation?
No, because then he gets back to the tower before the missile hits him. Yeah. Oh, look at GH. He's going for a group snipe.
Oh.
Maybe.
V?
A little bit later on.
He's at least got that ward settled down, so he can have a look for that later on.
Look at him. He knows exactly how to play around this tree.
Yeah, perfectly.
Oh, but I think he got spotted. He just got pinged out.
See if they do check it out here.
Gyro spotted him, I think, when he went onto the high ground.
Yeah, he must have got just a glimpse. We did cut over to Envy's vision, but I guess, yeah, must have saw a quick pass over. But still, for the time being, the eye is going to stay sat there. Is indeed, as you say, being patient for now, watching out for that courier snipe.
Oh boy, this is going to be such an annoying lane for the Timbersaw to start. Going up against a Venomancer, you have that Poison Sting, probably, I'm not sure if he's going to go, I don't think you want the ward build against this Timbersaw, but maybe that's what Fnatic are hoping for. He may end up going more of a Gale build. I'm not sure what Venomancers do in this current patch. Most of the older Venomancers just max out wards, and then you would just like spam them and keep the waves constantly pressed in mid. But up against Timbersaw, he's actually quite good against that.
We'll see how this lane plays out in terms of what rotations come through. At the moment, Kuroki just pretty much keeping full tabs on DJ, making sure to mirror the Enchantress's movements and ensure that Miracle gets that space here on this top lane to find this farm. Well, he will, of course, be up against Universe's Sand King for now on this top lane.
Meanwhile, bottom lane with the tiny Wisp going up against a Gyrocopter Witch Doctor. Kind of squishy, but the Witch Doctor really protects this Gyrocopter, and if they get a good Maledict in, they could be in trouble. That's why GH is going to have to play kind of back in this lane. Just mostly coming in for the tether when Mind Control is gone on, or when he's attempted to go for a kill.
CS-wise down at the moment, pretty much matching 1-for-1 between the two cores. There's 7th of 3 on Mind Control's Tiny, MV 6-for-1 on the Gyro. So MV still being able to farm all right, despite that wave being pushed in underneath his tower.
The super unfair thing about the Tiny offlane is that he's so good at pressuring the core when it comes to CS, because he just has huge attack damage with the tree and easily outdoes your damage and takes a bunch of denies.
And he's timing the avalanche really nicely, making sure that he does it at the same time that Envy needs to hit those creeps. Getting that extra sort of control on the CS. The mid lane, as you said at the moment, doing all right for Abed. 12-for-4 against the temperature of Timberman, so they're finding that trade and farm. Abed not feeling too pressured at all. But GH, he has come across here towards the mid lane with a rotation, but again, very, really hard for him to do anything about it. Indeed, with the warding, Fnatic fully aware of these movements of the IO, and GH pop the haste and head back down to bottom to make sure that the backup's there for Mind Control.
Yeah, Mind Control needed it too. They actually popped a Maledict on him and tried to go get some damage in there. But he went into the trees and they were a little bit afraid. You know, if the Wisp all of a sudden tethers back in, they could be in serious trouble. So just kind of poke at him, force a response out of the Wisp, and that's all they could really hope for. This lane, 12-9 right now on Mind Control's Tiny. Nice,
coming in as well with the lead in. Does get the toss back onto Envy into the hands of GH. Looking for the block offs. Maledict will get thrown down onto GH, but Mind Control continues to chase down onto Envy. Chucks the tree and not quite enough damage. Envy will survive. GH though, he'll pop fairly low with the Maledict. Should be fine. Mind Control will find Paladai on the retreat. Does have Avalanche back up. That GH comes back in with the tether and will be there to claim first blood. As the two duos really go at one another there as they kick off the fight, but Liquid come out on top with the GH Mind Control pairing.
I actually love the fact that GH got the last hit, because this will mean just faster earns. Mid lane, Abed is doing fantastic against this Venomancer. It's kind of expected, Matumba Man not really focusing on the wards early, just because of the reactive armor.
Top lane as well, Fnatic trying to make a bit of a go onto Kuroki, but with the Nightmare and Brain Sap, he will keep himself alive. Not quite enough damage there between the Sand King and the Enchantress. They look to jump in. Mid lane Matuma trying to keep that creep wave sort of balanced here, but he is losing a lot of health for it, and he'll just get straight up taken down.
Great read there by Abed, seeing that he had the opportunity, and he also hit the, I'm pretty sure he hit the Whirling Death on the tree as well, so we got the pure damage.
Shoot. Yeah, that was, I mean, that amount of burst, I guess Matuma Man just didn't quite expect that to come through. He was, as I say, sort of tanking up the wave as he didn't want it to be taken by the tower.
Oh, and he's going to be rewarded with a regen too. Sick.
The dream for Abed. Bottom lane mind control does find his way around onto Pylite Die, but Envy's there to help out. The cast bouncing out between them, and there's the combo with the Maledict on top of GH. GH will surely pop. He's falling low. Envy trying to chase him down through the trees. Will find the kill. Can mind control find anything in response? Hasn't got enough for the kill on Envy. So mind control has to back away. Envy and Py looking towards him, but mind control should be fine.
Pi playing that perfectly. He wants to always hold on to the cask. As soon as the tether goes down, he throws down a cask and goes for the Maledict on the Wisp. You don't want to be putting on the Tiny, because otherwise the Wisp is just able to sit there and undo all the damage that you're trying to put out during that Maledict time.
And Matuma at this stage, he has to be very careful in this mid lane. If these spells hit, Matuma Man will get bursted down by the Timbersaw. So does have to respect the sort of the level 6 on Abed now, as he's getting shoved out of lane slowly but surely by this Timbersaw.
He's also got to micro his wards at the same time, because he doesn't really want to be hitting Abed and just give him free reactive armor stacks. He needs to be able to use the wards to go for denies as well as last hits.
Some perfect chakrams here from Abed, each and every time on top of Matuma. One more and Matuma would die, so he does have to be careful here. A quick timber chain to close the gap. Abed looking for the angle. He's just outside of his vision though here during the night time, so Matuma Man will be safe for now, but still really getting pressured in this mid lane, the Venom.
Pressure from Fnatic in mid and top lane. As you can see with the Enchantress, they go ahead and pick up the double siege wagon, and since the PA nor the other support, the Bane, don't really feel comfortable in this lane, they're actually going to rotate Crow down to bottom lane, the only lane that's really going well for Liquid right now.
Trying again to close the gap here, Abed. Again, Matuma Man dancing very well on the edge of that vision so that Abed isn't 100% on the Venomancer's position. Bottom lane, another attempt in. We'll get the cask out. The bounces do help momentarily, but Kuro's there as well. With that movement, as you mentioned, coming in onto the bottom lane, Pylite Die falling low, will get taken down. Same time in the mid lane, Envy, he turns up as a bit of a surprise to Matuma Man, and the two of them, Envy and Abed, will be able to take down the Venom.
That was a classic, like, Pylite Ice just sitting in the safe lane. He's tanking the gank. Eternal Envy, they made the read as a team. They're like, look, this lane is actually awful. We have to leave.
Oh, and up top, Universe, he's going for the play with the Epicenter Miracle, tries for the TP out, but it's too much damage, bringing the Hellbear in for the clap as well. Fnatic getting the kill on Miracle, 4 for 2, 1k lead, taking this tier 1 tower at 7 minutes in. Fnatic, they're playing these lanes very nicely.
Yeah, so even though the bottom lane was bad for Fnatic, they've already accomplished everything they needed to. They've taken the mid and top lane tower, so all those heroes can now move around the map, and they can in turn create space for the gyrocopter. So whether or not they're like just gonna rotate and see if they can kill the Wisp Tiny and leave the gyrocopter in mid or top lane, we'll have to see what exactly they plan.
See bottom lane, attempts onto Pylite Die. Kuro looking for the body blocks. They are bringing mind control through as well. He'll find the avalanche and Pylite Die will fall. GH straight with the TP out. Make sure that he doesn't have to worry about the Maledict. Mid lane, Abed starting to dance around once again with Matuma Man. Matuma has to be careful. Chakram back up. Abed does find the connection, using the slow to close the gap, but he misses the chain. Infused range drop buys Matuma Man some sort of safety. Abed still has the mana for one more Chakram. If it connects, he should find the kill, and he's found it. Abed with some very clutch Timbersaw play here in the middle lane.
And they might be going for the dive here in the top lane. They have the Centaur right behind Miracle. They lead with the burrow. They can follow this up.
They've got more than enough burst, or have they? GH is there with the save. Miracle's still alive. Now he looks to turn. Jumps onto DJ. DJ getting cut down. GH there with the save play. They look towards Universe. They found the dagger. They found the crit. Universe does have a burrow strike back up, uses it to cut up to the high ground, hold back Kuroki and Abed. He's turning up to help out. Immediate nightmare from Kuro to hold the Timbersaw in place. Still the creeps trying to chase down Kuro. Abed with a bit of mana left in the tank, gets the Chakram onto Kuroki, sets up for the burrow strike. They find themselves the kill onto the nightmare with the Bane. The Bane will get out in a coffin. The rest of Liquid will survive. 6 for 4. Good movement from Abed to make sure that that didn't turn around even more in favor of Liquid, as he's able to ensure that his Sand King gets out alive.
Oh man, look at this sentry ward that they placed just barely outside of both wards. And that's the part of the reason that Liquid is able to run so aggressively with their tiny whiz in this bottom lane.
At least they popped down another there. Make sure that they get at least one of them.
I mean, they 100% knew there was some sort of vision behind their tower with the way that Tiny was constantly diving, wrapping around on them. You don't make that sort of play without knowledge that there isn't extra heroes there.
And then, as honestly, this Timbersaw is the one that I think Liquid at the moment are having to be very respectful of. Abed doing a lot of damage and very, very strong, as we're seeing at the moment against this lineup. There just really isn't the damage to burst through this Timber at this stage. Yeah,
certainly not. And he picks himself up just a cloak, and then it's going to go Yule Scepter. Kind of respect this build. I wasn't sure if he was going to go the full out hood against the tiny Venomancer, or if he felt like the magic damage just wasn't quite enough. I like this build simply because it allows him to be a lot more aggressive. He's done so well in this early game. I want him to continue this train he's running on Liquid.
Top lane Fnatic continuing to keep the pressure up on there. Universe on the Sand King, having a very nice time. He's got the money in a couple of 100 gold to have that Blink Dagger very early on around this 10-minute mark. Top, Fnatic, they find the setup, but GH quick with the tether, gets himself over to Miracle. We'll be fine as Liquid keep themselves together. Kuro's a little split up. Abed trying to go in with the close, but Kuroki just outside of range. And there is 4 members of Liquidate. Abed actually comes back into this. Straight into the midst of 4 of them. He's got to be a little careful. He's trying to burst them down. He actually does get the kill and gets out. He takes Kuro's life underneath the noses of 4 members of Liquid, and they just can't punish him for it.
Great understanding of the limitations of the hero there. Abed, despite having very little reactive armor, he just made a good read that they wouldn't have the damage.
Miracle trying to go in, but here's the backup. Envy's turned up to the fight, has the cooldown. They're looking to chase down Mind Control. Abed on the sidelines trying to burst down Miracle. They have the Maledict on him as well. Universe in trouble, goes to the Sandstorm, but the eyeballs slap into him. They've got the vision. Universe taken down. Miracle being healed up by GH. They're trying to go in for more Liquid. They've got the dagger onto Abed. Abed very low on the mana and the health. Toss forward. There's the pure damage with the brain sap. Kuro will be able to finish off Abed's streak. Pylite Eye also left behind as Liquid will clean up this time. They get 3 kills.
As soon as Abed is that low, I think Fnatic need to just stay away from those team fights. They got themselves such a good early lead off of winning 2 out of 3 of their lanes that they kind of throw it away there in that team fight. They need to make sure. Timbersaw is the definition of a snowball hero, I think, and any early death can really slow him down. And he is indeed, because of that death, actually going to go back for the Hood of Defiance rather than just sticking with the Bear Cloak.
Universe, he has the Epi in the Blink. Look at the Universe, he's looking for the setup. Will jump forward. Has he got enough damage to finish them off? The Eye will pop. Miracle falling very low as well. The Shadow Tormented chasing him down.
1 second.
As he got the blast back up, he's going to look for the angle. But Miracle with the dodge jumps over to Mind Control. Still alive for now. Turns with the dagger to slow down Universe. This purple man trying to find him, but Miracle will finish off the neutral. Make sure that there's not going to be another blast coming out anytime soon. Mind Control getting focused. The cooldown's there from Envy, but the backups from GH comes through. The toss in. They manage to take down the Sand King Liquid, as Liquid will keep one another alive as Miracle will escape.
I mean, you call part of it, but I think it was so important. First of all, he dodges, and then he turns around, daggers to Sand King. The Blink Dagger was just about to come back up from Universe, so he would have jumped the PA and finished him off if he hadn't done that.
Some very neat plays coming out from both sides so far this game still. The top 2 on the net worth being that of Abed and Universe, but it's very close. We'll see this again as Universe went in with an absolutely fantastic opener, but of course didn't really have the backup. And Miracle so close to losing his life, but these couple of dodges. And then, as you say, the quick cancel at the Blink Dagger as well. Bam.
Yeah, he was just getting it up because the Tiny stopped right-clicking him at that moment, so.
He's a tricky boy to kill, that Miracle.
Yeah, he certainly is, and it is buying Liquid a lot of time. I think now they're beginning to come online. They've got their maxed out nukes coming in from the Tiny. They have this Veil pick up from the Venomancer, which is really important if he can also get to level 12. Big upgrade for him, because the Poison Nova just feels that much more threatening. In team fights, it really feels like it is a team fight winner, solidified at that point.
Radiant are scanning.
So from here, it's going to look like a lot about the initiation and who's going to be able to get that jump, whether it's the Sand King setting up the Gyrocopter and Timbersaw for a quick, clean play where they just cut down 1 or 2 heroes, or is it going to be Mind Control who gets the blink in, the Tiny combination that brings a hero low, and then the PA jumps in and finishes off another.
Smoke on the low ground here from Fnatic, keeping themselves just out of vision. Liquid may not be aware of this. There is Epicenter up. Fnatic, can they really look for the fight? They are split up though. They still have Abed And of course DJ up towards the top, just the 3 members of Fnatic here. Fnatic, they are starting to go for this wraparound as 3. Matumba Man now reacting to that push. He's TP'd out of this. Can Fnatic find a target though? That's the question. And at the moment, doesn't look like they will, as this tower seems to be free for the taking here, as it's falling very low. Now Liquid are TPing back to that tier 2 up on the top to alleviate some of the pressure from DJ.
Okay, we're not going to have a fight. Can we look over at Abed real quickly? I just want to know what he was doing. He was sitting in those neutrals that whole entire time, and he wasn't hitting the neutrals. He was actually just letting them hit him. So he was ready to TP in onto the shrine with max out armor stacks. Like that's such a key part of playing the Timbersaw.
It makes such a difference as well. It really does. You turn up to a fight without those stacks, and you absolutely melt. You do shred. As you say, Abed, just keeping those numbers high. So that he's prepared for every occasion. He's queued up the Bloodstone next, of course, after the hood. And he's still on good track to get that in very good timing. Now we're looking on Miracle's PA. He does have the Demon Edge, about 370 gold, and he'll have Battle Fury complete. And after that, we'll have to rush straight for the BKB against the lineup that Fnatic have.
And PA has always been like kind of the notorious BKB carry because he's so dependent on it. But at the same time, once your BKB gets lower, you start getting kited pretty heavily. Your limited magic immunity means that you have to get a guaranteed jump in and kill somebody. Otherwise, you just start getting stunned and kited around team fight. So Phantom Assassin and her timing here in this game is going to be around that 25-30 minutes where we have that BKB in the hydration.
Miracle farms this with the Epicenter. They should have the damage to blow him up straight, and they go Maledict, Burrow Strike, Epicenter, Miracle. He's surely going to pop. Nightmare will come out, but it's nowhere near enough to save him. They lose Miracle, the Death Wall from Pylite Eye, beating it to Kuro. Kuro will fall, double kill for Pylite Eye. Liquid will find one in return. They'll take the life of Universe. Mind Control Matumba and GH trying to find more, but GH gets cut down just seconds before he's going to relocate out of there. They found 3. Abed looking for the cleanup, looks towards Matumba. He's a little low on the mana. He is still going to try and play around with this, but low on the tank. He will back himself away. Matumba maybe seeing if he can bring him down with the magical damage. I mean, Abed, he has got a lot of regen. Has Matumba Man got enough damage to outdo that? He's trying, but with the hood up, it's hard. Mind Control does come in with the backup. Abed, he is a Timbersaw, and he may just be able to walk this one off, as I don't think these two can quite kill him, and it doesn't look like they can. Abed will get out of there.
So kind of an interesting play there is, Kuro. Don't think anything comes to this.
Miracle did try and jump in onto DJ. Homing missile will connect, but looks like DJ and Envy a little too scared of going in.
Oh no, the Sentry, they just found the Invis Kuro.
Oh, there's backup for Kuro though. In comes GH, has the tether, jump ball from Universe, straight in with the Burrow Strike. They have the right clicks as well, trying to bring GH down. Abed will find the kill onto Kuro on the sidelines. GH, he's going to pop as well. These last couple of engagements down here on this half of the map going the way of Fnatic, as we are starting to see how hard it is for these heroes to bring down a Timbersaw. They just can't dispatch of him quickly, as Abed, sure, he might not be doing the most damage in the world after his mana's out of his kit, but it buys time for the rest of the team to come in and turn these fights around.
Speaking of buying time, they are buying time for Miracle right now. He's going through stacks with his recently acquired Battle Fury. That being said, he doesn't have any lifesteal, so the sustain against those stacks is a little bit lacking.
He'll rely on the GHI to come in and top him up with some help, unless he wants to make a quick trip back to base. GH, of course, with Sals, and still has a charge in that urn, ready to save his team if required. But 13-11, 1k lead still for Liquid. Certainly proven to be the close, action-packed game we'd hope for here in this third place decider between these two lineups.
I do still question how viable PA is in the current meta when everybody's running around so fast that I wonder how well Miracle is going to really be able to stick onto somebody with that Phantom Strike, say the Gyrocopter. In my opinion, that's target number 1 for him. Just try and burst down the Gyrocopter and his physical damage.
Miracle on the edge of the smoke here. Universe will have a dispel, but he's straight in with the Burrow Strike, the cooldown as well. There's going to be the save from GH, the side relocate, just taking him out to the side, maybe seeing if they can get back in on this. TPs are coming through. Miracle takes the homing missile to the head, down bottom, Mind Control with that newly acquired Shadow Blade. Look to see if we can find any sort of setup on Fnatic, but Fnatic, they will disengage, they'll back away. They don't want to try and take this fight. These are the problems. This GHIO will be there every time they try and blow everything onto Miracle.
Yeah, you saw when they were smoked. They definitely saw the PA. They didn't want to jump him first, precisely for that reason. They were hoping to be able to spot the Wisp. Unfortunately, didn't get vision of him until it was too late and their smoke had popped.
Control. Maybe looking to see if he can get a toss back on one of the targets. Arbed, definitely one of the tough ones to go for. Has the Bloodstone complete now.
Yeah, if he's out of position, they could get a toss back into the Bane, who could then Fiend's Grip, and they would just actually eat up the Timbersaw pretty quickly. Very key timing for him as well, because he just has his Bloodstone with 14 charges.
Yeah, if they can knock some of those charges off, then that would be the dream for Liquid. Well, Liquid get the space down bottom. We'll be able to finally finish up that tier 2. Matumba as well this game, going for the BKB, and he is closing in on the money for it. We'll have that out fairly shortly.
So I think it's actually going to be so much about who manages to get their BKB first between the PA and the Gyrocopter, and then in turn forces the team fight.
Mid lane, Liquid getting away with quite a bit now. As soon as they take that tier 2 down bottom, they will move and to finally have an attempt on this tier 1 mid. Fnatic, what are they going to do in response? They're just splitting up the lanes themselves. Envy, making sure that he finds all the farm up top. Keeps that lane heavily shoved in against the tier 2 of Liquid. Liquid's still on the sidelines. You see Mind Control eyeing things up. Maybe looking towards DJ. A little tricky to burst down this Ench, and definitely chance for a counterplay from Fnatic if they did commit on that. GH has got that relocate backup though, so the save will be there. Arbed grabs an invis, and with this will head into the jungle, but that ward did spot this out, so Liquid should be aware of this movement, and as we can see already, Matumba and Kuroki starting to move themselves back quite defensively.
Looking at it right now, I'm feeling like Fnatic. I think if you're Fnatic, you kind of want to start forcing some fights soon. Otherwise, this tiny whiz is really going to start getting out of control when it comes to their split push. Your biggest catch is pretty much just your Sand King. For the most part, your lineup wants to be able to play 5-man around each other, while Liquid can abuse you with this kind of 3-on-2 split push, where they can always relocate into the fight while split pushing you at the same time. And seeing as their tier 2 is already gone in this bottom lane, and tier 3 is very exposed, and they're always going to have to bring a hero back to this. The longer the game goes, the worse it's going to be.
Matumba on his own in the mid, but of course with those poison wards down, doing a good job of just holding this lane position, making it very hard for Arbed to push back. Sure, he can clear out the creeps, but he himself can't really take these wards down with much ease. So,
ooh, BKB time. Liquid just take this tier 1 tower mid. 10-second BKB on a Phantom Assassin is a team fight winner, I believe.
Let's see how Fnatic want to answer it. They may just let this tier 1 go at this stage. As you say, with that BKB on the PA, makes it very hard for Fnatic to fight into. They really struggle in the damage in that sense to get through it. This tower will be taken by Mind Control. Fnatic just continuing to make sure that they get the farm on their cores. Constantly split up across the map. Envy's down bottom. You've got DJ and Universe up in Liquid's jungle. No intention to fight as a team at this point, and still just focusing on finding the farm themselves.
Okay, so now that the BKB is up on PA, I think the game plan for Fnatic changes. I wanted them to force a fight before that, but didn't get it. BKB's up. Liquid's far too scary. So now you're just going to be focusing on getting your cores to be able to scale out this game. Interrupting Roshan, though, could be a huge opportunity for them, especially since they're going to see the Wiz first.
They will get the courier as well, so nice bit of a cash bounty start, but they should be aware of what's going on. Mind Control jumps up to the high ground. GH is there with the tether. They'll look to drop the combo onto DJ. DJ gets the heal out. Is the bull's magical damage enough for the tree? No, not quite. DJ will survive with the Nature's Attendant. As he'll back off, Fnatic have managed to draw Liquid out of the pit. Universe being chased down here. Quick with the blink will keep his distance. The rest of Fnatic there on the back lines of it all. Miracle trying to jump in onto Pilot Eye, pops the BKB, quick with the crits, will chop down the Witch Doctor. They've got a relocate coming in as well. Envy's in trouble, pops the BKB. Is the physical enough? They're trying to chase. Envy pretty speedy, will get back with that BKB charge. Universe is coming with the epicenter, has managed to find the IO. They get the toss back. Mind Control trying to separate himself from the Sand King. Arbed as well playing around with the rest. The Miracle comes back in, gets the double as he finishes off Arbed with a big crit. And Fnatic though, they're getting the trades. They found the 2 for 2. Pilot Eye buying back for this. Wants to make sure that Fnatic can continue to hold control around this pit.
Yeah, they know if Liquid does manage to pick up the Aegis, then they in turn will take many of these outer towers and really start taking the full map control.
Look at this, they smoke up and immediately go straight back in.
Oh, and it's at half HP already.
I don't know if Liquid are going to be aware that they went straight back in with the smoke.
They've got wards, so they're going to be able to reveal this.
Okay.
But they don't have a whole lot of their team fighting
They
abilities.
don't have the BKB on the PA, it's on cooldown. Of course, they don't have it as well on Envy. They're going to go in straight away, but GH is there, keeping Matuma Man alive. Matuma Man still got his own BKB, and the poison is bringing Pi down low. He'll go for the death wall, but Pi loses his life. Arbet comes in on the back lines, chops down GH. Will manage to get the eye out of the fight. There's a DD though. That PA's got a DD. You got to dispatch him and quickly. Miracle gets the BKB back out. Jumps onto Envy. This double damage could be the end of Fnatic. They've got to be so scared of this PA right now. Miracle jumping in onto Universe. Gets the kill. Double kill for Miracle. They'll turn towards Arbet. There's the control. Mind Control has the stun. Miracle thinking about going back in. This Arbet so low. Will be sent up in the air by the Yules. They've got the jump in. Miracle has to be careful though. It's getting bursted. The Dagger. But no, the Nightmare actually kind of screws it up there. We'll save him from the dagger damage, but Arbet will still fall finally. 2 quick kills to start off there as Miracle just able to pick up that double damage rune.
That was so sick how Matuma just manned up there. He was like, no, I can't let them have this Roshan. It doesn't matter if I don't have Poison Nova. I'm just going to go in, pop my own BKB, and force them out of that pit. Ends up winning the entire fight for Liquid, especially with that double damage rune. That was just dirty.
I mean, that's, as I said, we've seen it before. Ice Frog seems to be a Liquid fan. There's been a few of these rune pickups that favor them. And Mind Control finds himself a freebie, Pilot Eye on his own in the jungle. And that money, those objectives, Miracle's now got the Desolator on top of the BKB Battle Fury. This PA is going to be very scary in these fights.
And they don't really have any of those kiting items, nor the physical damage items to deal with the PA just yet. Eternal Envy's trying to work towards that MKB, is actually thinking about a halberd. So a little bit of evasion for him. He was also looking at SOI earlier, thinking that mobility would help him out a bit more. But you're going to need 4 staffs. Halberds are great, Solar Crests are great. You just need to be able to kite this PA, and
yes,
every single BKB timing used by Liquid needs to be a team fight won and objectives taken.
I mean, if you can help the PA around the BKB, it absolutely makes the hero entirely useless. So it's a good item, and of course down the line you can build it into others. You can look to go with the Talisman into the Butterfly at the later stages if you wish. So yeah, getting it this sort of time would be perfect. Envy, as you say, looking towards it next. Still needs a bit of time to get there. 18 to 16, a 6k lead for Liquid after they do take that Roshan successfully. So starting climb was quite an advantage against Fnatic.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that Abed didn't end up going for the Solar Crest. It's an older Timbersaw build where you go Hood, Solar Crest, and then maybe the Bloodstone after that. But he was definitely really favoring the Yule Scepter, considering he tried to build a first item, even with just a bare cloak.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Fnatic trying for the split pressure as they go for the opposite lane. Liquid are going to try and force Fnatic to back up. Liquid starting to knock on the doors of Fnatic. They are going to jump forward. Universe quick with the Burrow Strike. Playing it careful. There's Miracle. Will aggressively jump in. Fortification comes out from Fnatic. Quick sleep onto Arbet's Timbersaw.
Oh, nice force staff. Just to get him in a little bit safer position.
I'm homing missile onto Miracle, but again, not wanting to commit out onto that PA with the Aegis and the BKB. A very hard target for Fnatic to go on. The ward's getting laid down as well, so Matumba, if there's any chance, can try and find the hits onto Universe, make it a lot harder for Universe to find these big Blink epicenter initiations. At the moment, they're just keeping Arbed at the side with the Nightmares, and they find the space to get that tier 3 tower, open up the base of Fnatic with very little cost to themselves. Bottom lane is getting pushed in, and Miracle will quickly be there to hold that push back. Arbed, maybe seeing if he can get some sort of a lead in. They know that the PA is no longer with the rest of the team, but still, the 4 members of Liquid, even without that PA, very scary.
A tree was missing. He tried to Timber Chain to a tree that was missing. If he got it, he would have Yule Sceptered the Wisp.
Yeah, he's got the Yule set up onto Kuro. BKB pop by Matuma Man. He's moving into the center. It'll get the Poison Nova out. They've already lost the Enchantress as Mind Control bursts down DJ. And now Arbed just has to get out of their Universe as well. They've got no intention of fighting around this with the Poison Nova upon them. They will get themselves out of the area.
That was weird. Fnatic definitely had 2 different ideas there, but if Abed actually hit a Timber Chain on the tree that was actually missing, he would have jumped forward, he would have stopped the Wisp TP, and they in turn wouldn't have been able to relocate the PA back into that fight.
See Universe there trying for a bit of a chase down onto GH. Does have Arbed as well, but GH quick with the tether across the creeps, keeps his distance. Arbed will stick around trying to shove out this lane. Mind Control is here as well as GH, so do have to be relatively careful.
I do want to point out the itemization. It really shows the strategy that Liquid is trying to take against this Timbersaw. They're not building Silver Edge, and they're not building anything else to really deal with the Timbersaw. For example, the Spirit Vessel is not upgraded on GH. He actually went for the mech instead. This says to me they're just actually ignoring the Timbersaw a lot of times, and they're just entirely focusing on the fact that Gyrocopter is an ineffective carry right now.
Or top lane, Kuro will be caught out, pushing that one out alone. So, free support kill for Fnatic. The problem, obviously, at this stage, with a 9k lead, Liquid not afraid to still go for objectives as a 4-man.
This poor Enchanter is just going to get blown up by this Dagon that's being built by Matama Man already at level 3.
There's so much burst as we're seeing now.
Yeah, with the Veil. Whew.
For the old XTs coming out around that warding. Both teams fight for that area on the map. That's the Aegis gone on Miracle. We'll see if this sort of makes Fnatic feel more confident in trying to find a jump onto the PA and burst her down before she gets that BKB off.
Scotty's a nice choice for him because it'll help kind of decrease the kiting of some of these faster heroes, as well as just give him a good stat upgrade. Fnatic are doing everything they can right now and just focusing on split pushing as they should. They still have to stay away from Liquid even after that Aegis. Only fights you're wanting to take is maybe some sort of smoke pick off where you surprise Fnatic. Or excuse me, you surprise Liquid with the rotation. Otherwise, these straight up 5v5s are not good. Fnatic.
And Cap, what do you think about Kuro's build on the Bane?
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Sure, I'm all about it.
The Aghanim Scepter Bane, not something we get to see every day.
It's not like there's a whole lot of times where as a Bane you're like, oh man, you know, I would have gotten a really good Fiend script if only they weren't right-clicking me. Most of the time it's just stuns. So we're gonna see a whole lot of brain stabs from him.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
V, Miracle, it's getting gone on here. Pi as well, looking for the cast. Miracle pops the BKB. He's actually looking to try and turn this. Jumps onto Pi. Takes a Witch Doctor down. Can they get him after the BKB wears off? They're trying to slow him up. There's the stun. Perfectly timed by Universe. GH is there. Can he get him out in time? Miracle falling low. GH is going to get caught out, and GH will pop. They've got the stun on Miracle. They're going to find the PA as well. Fnatic, they're getting big kills here, but Mind Control's there straight onto Envy on the sidelines. They have lost their gyro, but overall, Fnatic finding 3 from Liquid. Matuma Man, he is still coming into this one. Mind Control with the Shadow Blade, trying to get back into the midst of it all. Matuma pops the BKB, drums are popped. DJ trying to get himself out of there, but the stun comes through. Mind Control comes in with the play, but now in return, Universe has the Burrow Strike, setting up for Arbet. Quick toss back on the Timbersaw, but the Yule Scepter buying time for Arbet to surround Mind Control once again. He's pretty tanky, but this Tiny is a strength hero. He's going to get bursted pretty well if he gets near those trees, and even without the trees, they're doing a good job of it. Again, this saw the Yule's play between the two of them. But they got detection though. They don't have detection. So Mind Control will be able to actually walk out after the Shadow Blade comes back off cooldown.
I want to give a point to DJ there. Starting that fight, he had the troll, and he was just keeping an eye on the whistle the whole entire time, so he's looking to be able to just stop that relocate if GH ever went for the save on that Phantom Assassin. And as a result, he kind of slowed it down so much that they were actually able to just run over those heroes. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't really a timer for Roshan, so they weren't able to take an objective as a result of a decent win for Fnatic, but it does go to show that they can still win some team fights against Liquid, though that was certainly an awkward one.
Absolutely. I'll bet at least able to get some of those charges back. And the level's still good, of course. Taking that 25% XP gain talent at the start of it all on this Timbersaw, Arbed will still make very good progress to maxing out in terms of levels.
Yeah, and as much as Kuro may want to scale as a Bane with his Aghanim Scepter, you're not going to be able to beat the impact of a 4-position Enchantress, especially DJ's. He's got the Medallion, he's got Hurricane Pike, and now he's working on Aghanim Scepter of his own.
Dagon's continuing to get scaled up by Matuma Man. It's on that level 5 now. Level 5 Dagon. As we've been saying, so much burst coming out from Liquid's lineup as of now. Fnatic, once again forced to prepare to hold the high ground as Liquid, they are moving in on mid. First stun does connect onto Miracle. Universe is going to try and go in with the Burrow Strike, but GH is there with the tether. Miracle actually jumps in DJ. A couple of crits and DJ's gone. The cast bounces onto Miracle though. They'll go for the Gale onto Envy. Envy pops the BKB. Fnatic trying to get back, but Miracle again with these crits. 1200 damage to the backside of Pylai Die. As both supports of Fnatic are down, they do not have buyback. Miracle actually jumping in on Envy, but there's the Halberd. Quick with the disarm, but the zap. Matsumaban just waltzes in with the Dagon 5. Burst down Eternal Envy. Universe goes for the two-man Burrow Strike. Can him and Arbe clean this up though? They've lost 3 members of Fnatic. It's only down to these two. No one with buybacks available. Universe can buy back now that he's dead. Can he turn anything with us though? They're trying to keep Liquid away at least from the objectives, and for the most part it is working. Backdoor protection has kicked back in. The creeps now move forward, so now it's off. There's the fortification. A 17k lead. Liquid now hitting onto these structures. Can they do anything to stop it? They'll have everyone apart from Envy back up. Envy's still down for 30 seconds, but Liquid, they're looking for multiple lanes. They'll take the melee racks from the top lane. They're looking to take it as well from this middle. Abed trying to push Miracle away from this. Matumba on the side. Dagon 5 and a Gale brings Universe down low. Miracle holds his ground. Will finish off the racks. Mind controls in with a burst. Quick force to get DJ out of there. The cast bouncing out between them. GH and Mind Control still fine though. The tether's in. Mind Control incredibly tanky with this Heart and AC. Now they have the Nightmare holding back Arbed as they just focus the range racks, and they'll clean up a second set. 2 clean sets of racks for Liquid here. Fnatic struggling to deal with the lead that Liquid have.
Look at them, they just keep on ignoring the Timbersaw with this Nightmare and then poke at the back line, whether it's through a blink in from the Tiny, daggers constantly from the PA. It's an initiation problem for Fnatic. They cannot really go on a PA. They need to be able to go to the back line, blow up the Wisp, maybe take out the Venomancer first, see if they can actually get a stun on him and blow him up before he gets off BKB, Poison Nova. Like, those are your big 2 team fight winners.
Oh, and Arbed trying for the chase down. You get the homing missile onto Miracle, trying to focus him. Universe in with the Burrow Strike. Sandstorm as well, but Miracle forced out. Miracle will be fine. But Sumaman also did pop the BKB here. He's looking towards Envy. Envy with his own BKB. Will it be enough to save him? Mind Control's there. Envy goes for the CPR. Envy will be able to get himself back to safety for now. Arbed trying his best to burst down Matuma. Matuma incredibly low. Mind Control with this Shadow Blade again. He's in biz. They'll put across G. Comes in with the tether. Matuma Man leads him with the zap. Takes down DJ. Universe in the midst of it all. They're bringing Matuma Man down low. But again, GH with this tether. Keeping Matuma Man alive. Fnatic have lost 3. Arbed gets surrounded. They've lost 4. GG is called as Liquid will take game 1. They do it with a PA cap.
They certainly did. Phantom Assassin, one of the more classic counters to the Gyrocopter, works out perfectly here. It's an early BKB core. It jumps onto the Gyrocopter, dealing direct physical damage onto him. And then they had a little bit of a Timbersaw problem with their lineup, but they were just like, we can just ignore him, make sure that the rest of the cores are really ineffective, and we'll just kind of kite him. The same way that ideally Fnatic want to be able to play around the PA and just kite him around, but Liquid definitely were able to prove a lot more